Hello everyone, this is Sanjay Agrawal. Today I'm going to share a few improvements and enhancements done in NSM that improve NSM's reliability and confidence among our partners and customers. When an admin logs into NSM, they land on this dashboard page, which provides a high-level status of the firewalls being managed. From here, the admin can click on the firewalls, which takes them to the firewall inventory page. The inventory page shows all the firewalls within the tenant, or an MSP can switch to all tenants view to see all the firewalls that they're being managed for by this MSP for all their customers. Switching back to the MSP tenant, MSP customer one tenant, which has 5 firewalls. This inventory page shows the connectivity status, which is online, the management status, which means the firewall is in sync. The configuration of the firewall is in sync with NSM, and it's all green. Now coming to the improvements done in NSM. One of the major improvements, infrastructure improvements done in NSM was the introduction of ZT 2.0. ZT 2.0 is a new microservices-based architecture that uses a thin gRPC protocol to communicate with firewalls, and it is auto-scalable. ZT 2.0 has fixed many issues related to firewall connection between NSM and the firewall. With ZT 2.0, the connection between firewall and NSM is reliable and instant. In the past, it used to take minutes for a firewall to connect to NSM, which now happen in seconds. For example, you can see that this connection time spent at 1419, and within a second, the firewall reconnected with NSM. This also improved the reliability of configuration push from NSM to firewalls as the connectivity between the firewall and NSM became reliable. Now, NSM also added a few enhancements that were critical for our partners and customers. Let's coming to the very first enhancement, which is related to logging and alerting. NSM added a feature called device alerts. This feature now allows admins to get alerted when an event on the firewall happens. For example, firewall's interface goes down, or interface is flapping, is going up and down, they'll get alerted upon. Or like a hardware disk failure happens, they'll get alerted upon. Or a device connection fails to NSM, they'll get alerted upon. One of the most important asks was WAN failover. Many customers deploy dual internet links for their firewalls, and admins need to know when the primary low-cost link fails over to an expensive backup link, so they can take corrective actions to go fix that primary link. This alert configuration can be done at tenant level, or they can switch to all tenants view and do the same configuration for all the firewalls for all within their customer install base, which will be this becomes a global configuration for an MSP. Switching back to the MSP customer one, this device management alerts can be sent can be seen within the GUI in the GUI notification window, or can be sent as an SMS or as an email alert to the admin. The next enhancement is called system events. This is at a per firewall level. So if I go to this firewall, which is showing me there's a firewall view, then now I'm in the firewall specific view, and this view is exactly the same what an admin sees when they log in locally on the firewall. When I go to the monitor tab and I click at all logs, it will load all the system events for that particular firewall. For example, if you're creating a site-to-site VPN and VPN tunnel is not coming up, the admin can go to the system events of the firewall and look at the debug logs or the warning logs and information log that is being generated by that firewall. For example, in this case, IV2P is not responding, and the negotiation between the tunnel failed. This eliminated the need for MSP admins or admins to go logging locally, and sometimes they may not even have access to the customer firewalls to log in locally. And basically, they don't have to do a truck roll. All the system events are now collected by NSM and stored for 30 days. NSM provides the next enhancements is talking about monitoring and reporting. And many reports were added in NSM in the past releases. And some of those enhancements include, so if I come here, NSM provides many reports which are predefined, which are available by and packaged within NSM. That can be summary reports and detailed reports. You can go to detailed reports right from here and see all the reports being generated. Admins use this report configuration to just create scheduled reports and send this information or send on a monthly or a weekly basis to their customers. While these are predefined routes, and these predefined reports may be sufficient for many partners. It may not be. There may be a time when they need to provide additional reports based on traffic data coming from the firewall, which takes me to the analytics view of the firewall. It will take a few seconds to load the last 24 hours of data. As you can see, the NSM has fetched all the data for last 24 hours for all the firewalls that it's managing at the manager view. A feature called custom report was added within NSM. So if I want to go and look at, I see certain traffic within my log view, and I want to generate a report based on that, I just need to create a filter and then come here and save this as a filter. Once I save this filter, I can also say, okay, I can create a custom rule based on this filter that I've generated. And it will basically take me to report rule creation wizard, which will allow an admin to create an on-demand or a scheduled report. They can change the logo. This rule is saved in what is called the report rule. I have a report rule already pre-created, which is called SSL connections, which was created some time ago and it was an on-demand report. I can click here and generate the report now, or if it's a scheduled report, it will be automatically generated at the scheduled time. This report is saved in the saved reports and which can be downloaded by MSP and sent to the customer. Coming to the next enhancement about NSM within firewall, its specific enhancement. This is also something we call as interface bandwidth utilization. Coming to which ways NSM can quickly show you all the interfaces bandwidth being utilized, or how much traffic each interface is sending. And this can be a live report that they can see live last 30 minutes, or they can go up to last 1 hour and they will keep generating this traffic. And this basically helped admins to validate how much traffic each bandwidth is utilizing, and especially in case of a WAN interface, which is the internet connectivity interface. If an ISP is charging them based on the bandwidth, they can accurately measure if the ISP is billing them correctly. One of the last enhancements I'm going to talk about is called productivity reports. Firewalls have what is called content filtering categories. NSM has divided all these content filtering categories into 4 major categories. We'll call productive, unproductive, acceptable, and acceptable. And when I go to monitor page and I go look at the productivity report, go to dashboard, NSM tracks every user's web activity and groups them in the 4 major categories I talked about: productive, unproductive, acceptable, and unacceptable. For example, if a user or an employee is watching Netflix during work hours, which is considered unproductive, this report can be generated at a firewall level, group level, or a tenant level and sent to HR as an example. Hope this provides a high-level overview of improvements and enhancements made in NSM. Thank you for your time.